I'm Anil Kumar. In my videos, you'll always find some interesting test questions. And this is one of the most difficult test question on increasing and decreasing interval. The question here is, determine increasing and decreasing interval for absolute x plus absolute y equals to 1. I'd like you to pause the video, think about it, sketch the function preferably, and then only answer the question. Okay, let's begin to answer this question with some simple steps. So we have a function which is absolute x plus absolute y equals to 1. So when we want to sketch a function like this, what we can do is we can isolate y. So we could write this as absolute y equals to, we'll take x, absolute x to the left side, so we get minus absolute x plus 1. So that is the kind of function which we have, right? Now, how to sketch such a function? Once you write equation in this form, it should not be very difficult. But anyway, let us try. What you can also do is make table of values, take some values for x, and then sketch the function. That is probably the easiest way of doing it. So first step here is negative of absolute x. As you know, absolute x is a function which is like this. This is absolute x, correct? So when I have negative of absolute x, I will reflect it, correct? So this is my negative absolute x. Good. How about plus 1? If I have to do plus 1, that really means that I have to move this graph 1 unit up. So I get a graph which is kind of like this and this. So this graph here is minus of absolute x plus 1. So translated 1 unit up. Simple steps to get to this point. Now we have to absolute y values, absolute y. So we have to sketch for absolute y. So this is negative values. So absolute means always positive. So what we will do is we'll do positive of this. So we are going to reflect this part upwards. Do you see that? So that becomes your final function. This is how the function is going to be. So we say y is equals to actually absolute value of minus absolute x plus 1. Do you get the idea? So you have to flip it. Now, what are these points? You can always substitute x value as plus and minus 1 or calculate it. So you want this to be 0. So we want this to be 0. That means minus plus 1. So what you find here is the values could be 0 only when absolute value of x is plus or minus 1. I mean, absolute value will always be positive. X is plus and minus 1. So these points are at minus 1 and plus 1, right? Now if I write x equals to 0, so if I write x equals to 0, then we know y is equals to, then we know y is equals to 1. So this point is 1 for us. In any way, we do have a good graph to answer the question. Critical aspect of this question is really to sketch this function itself. Now it is easy. What are the intervals for increasing? So we can write increasing interval and decreasing interval. So intervals where the function increases is actually this one, right? From minus 1 to 0, is it okay? And then after 1, union from 1 to infinity. For decreasing, it decreases first, minus infinity to minus 1, and then from 0 to 1, right? Union from 0 to 1, right? That is the answer for this particular question, and I hope you understand the steps. I have shown you how to use transformations to sketch the function, how to find values of x and y intercepts, and then write down the answer. I'm Anil Kumar. You can subscribe to my videos and learn a lot. Thank you for your time. Thanks.